Hey, it's Sheldon with TigerTough here again. Today we're going to be putting some seat covers on a 2019 Ram 1500. First thing we're going to do before you put the covers on is take the headrest off. So to do that, I raise it up all the way, and then there's two buttons at the base of the headrest. This big button is the one that you use to adjust the headrest up and down, and the small button, along with the big button, releases it. So just push them both in and pull it right straight up out of the seat back. Next thing you're going to do after you take the headrest off is just slide the seat forward and up if it's got electric seats. It's going to make it a lot easier for you when you go to put the covers on. The last thing we've got to do before we start putting the covers on is release this right here. There's this carpet flap. We just need to release it. There's two elastic straps underneath of it, and we're just going to release both of them just like that. Alright, we're going to put the bottom cover on first, and you just want to make sure that the tag on the cover corresponds with the seat that you're working on. We're working on the driver's seat, so we got the driver's tag. And I'm just going to pull this over the seat like this, just to get it to take the general shape. Tuck that down inside there. And then I'm going to tuck this in between seat back and seat bottom. Alright, next thing we're going to do is tuck this flap here inside the plastic trim on this side of the seat. Alright, I'm just going to push the cover behind that plastic just by pushing the seat cushion over. That's what gives you that nice finished look. Now this string is going to go underneath the seat, so I'm just going to push the seat bottom over like that and drop the string down in there. Just like that. Alright, now I am behind the driver's seat. You're looking through from the front. And what I'm going to do is tie those two strings together that we pushed through. So this is the one from over by the center console. And we're just going to pull it under the seat and pull it tight. And we'll do the same with the one we pushed through from over by the door. The only thing you want to make sure of is that these strings go in front of the rear seat mounts. They should do that naturally, but just make sure of that. Now that I've pulled them tight to help the cover take to the shape of the seat, I'm going to tie just a simple loop in the one that's closest to the center console. Just like that. And now I'm going to take the other string and run it through that loop and tie it back on itself. That allows you to get a lot of tension on that string, and that's what keeps the cover from sliding around. So the tighter you can pull that, the better. And then I'll just tie that back on itself in a knot that won't slip. Just like that. Now we'll just tuck these up out of the way and finish putting the cover on. Now I'm going to run this front flap all the way underneath the seat, and then we'll attach it to the top flap in the back. It's hard to see it on camera, but when this goes underneath the seat, it's going to run over top of any wires, brackets, electric motors, anything like that. Run it as close to the bottom of the actual seat as possible. So I'm just going to pull these really tight from the top to make sure the top of the cover fits good. And then we'll just pull this flap tight as well. Pull tight. And pull tight. The tighter you can pull everything, the better your cover's going to fit. Alright, we're going to put the back cover on next. Again, I've got the tag that says driver because we're working on the driver's seat. You also want to make sure that the TigerTough tag and the airbag tag are on the side closest to the door. So I'm just going to turn this cover most of the way inside out and just pull it over top of the seat. Alright, I got this cover tight over the seat back. Now I'm just going to work the holes in the cover around the plastic pieces for the headrest. Just like that. Now we'll just continue to work the cover down over the seat back. Okay, now this flap here, or all three of these flaps, are going to go between the back and the bottom, and then they'll get fastened, everything will get fastened together in the back. Okay, now that we've pushed those three straps through the front, we're going to take this factory carpet piece and just tuck it inside the cover. We won't be needing that anymore. And now here's a trick to get the front of the cover to fit really well. We're going to fasten these two side pieces here first. And this seat has got big bolsters on it, so when you pull these through, you're going to pull them really tight and up at an angle like that. And that'll help the front of the cover to fit really, really well. So pull it tight and fasten it up at an angle. And then the center one, we'll just pull tight and fasten it. And now this flap is just to make everything look good. So we'll go like this to cover up all of our Velcro pieces. And there we go. Okay, so see, by pulling on those little straps off at an angle in the back, that's what gave us that really nice fit, so everything fits tight against the factory seat just like it's supposed to. Now I'm going to lower the seat back down and pop the headrest in. There we go. And now let's put the headrest cover on. That's going to go on with the long flap in the front. And we'll just put it over the headrest and work it down. Just make sure that everything lines up and the shape looks right. Then this here flap, I will just put underneath the headrest and tuck it up inside, so the Velcro piece is fastened together. There we go. The headrest back down, and we're finished. Now we're going to cover the center console, because this truck has got a 40-20-40, and this center console will fold up into a seat. So we're going to start out with the back. So the armrest portion right here, we're going to cover that. So to do that, I'm just going to work this over top like this. Now you can do this from the front or the back of the truck, because this one's got a back seat. I'm doing it from back here. There we go, so that's the top covered. Now I'm going to flip this up and feed the whole cover between the back and the bottom. You'll need to work the cover and the top of the console back and forth as you do it, just because it's a lot of fabric going through a small spot. Now I'm just going to hook this over the top of here, over top of the headrest, and over that right there. Now this piece right here will fasten inside here once I get the cover over the console like it's supposed to be. For now, we'll just throw it inside. Now this piece right here, this Velcro will fasten together around where the seat belt comes out. Now we're going to take this piece with the Velcro on it. There's one on either side. And I'm just going to turn it backwards so the Velcro is facing out. And feed it right between the console and the plastic. There's a metal bracket right there, and it's just going to go right behind that. You just need to feed it right through. Alright, I've pulled it through. You're going to want to make sure and move the seat ahead as far as possible. It makes it a lot easier to get at this right here. So now I've just turned it back around so that the Velcro is facing in, and just pull that as tight as you can and over onto there. And now I'm going to do the same for the passenger side. Now that we've got the cover fastened on, we're just going to fasten these straps together inside the console, and this just holds the sides tight. Just make sure when you fasten it, it's not over top of that little metal loop, because that is where this lid latches. One thing I failed to mention when I was putting the cover on is that this loop needs to go through the hole in the cover, because this is what releases the center console. Now I'm going to put the cover on the bottom of the center console, so we'll flip that up, and then I'm just going to work the cover over top of this handle. Just like that. And now I'll work the cover down over the seat bottom. Just like so. And now this is going to get pushed between this back and this bottom here. And now I'll just pull it tight and fasten all the velcro together. So you get your console covered, you get to keep your under seat storage, and you get to keep your armrest storage.